Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of What, Where, When, the quiz show based on the Russian original, where our team of clever people have to solve lateral thinking questions, some of which have been sent in by the audience. Today we have Lewis Murphy. Hello, Lewis.
Hello.
Dan Peake. Hello, Dan.
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you. And here's Nick Gates.
Hello there.
Nice to have you all with us. So the rules are very simple. I have with me a roulette wheel of 13 questions. You have 1 minute to solve each of them. And the first to get 7 correct wins if it's the team. And if you don't get them right, that counts as 1 to the audience. And if you miss 7 questions, then the audience wins. There is a slight change to the rules if you listened last time, which is that if the team know the answer straight away, they can claim answer as soon as I've stopped reading out the question. Tell me what the answer is, and if they're correct, they can take that 1 minute and use it as a bonus minute in a question that they're struggling with elsewhere. That's all it is to it. I'm going to make Dan the team captain for today's episode.
Go on, Dan.
Pressure, Dan.
Good luck, all.
Okay, so away you go. Pick a number.
Okay, let's start with number 5.
Number 5. Okay. And this has been sent in by Alex McMillan. What's in the box? In the UK are most commonly sold in sets of 16. The original manufacturer's instructions say that a torsional force should be applied to both faces so that the interior can be wet by the user. Once the item is reformed, it is suggested that it is submerged in liquid before use. The name you're looking for is embossed on both sides.
Right, so torsion is that the one where you put things together and you slide them up and down. It's a sliding.
I thought it was
some form
twisting.
of twist, I thought. Yes, so it's something that's twisted.
Yeah.
Something should be applied to both faces. What do you unscrew from both sides? So it's not like a bottle cap, and you wouldn't buy them in sets of 16.
No. I think I have an inkling it might be a biscuit and it might be an Oreo. Because we know Oreos, you twist them.
Yes,
Oh,
you
yes.
lick it and you dunk it. Well done. Yeah, I think that actually really well fits the description there. So
It goes in milk.
And it's
Yeah.
embossed on both sides. I
believe
like
so.
this answer. I think that's pretty good. Just trying to think what else it could be.
I can't think what else is sold in sets of 16.
Oh, it fits in. Yeah.
All right, Dan, what's your answer?
We're going to go with Oreo biscuits.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well done, Nick.
Well done.
That seemed to come out of nowhere, Nick.
Well, I was thinking about it. I was reading words, and I figured it was a bit where it gets submerged in liquid before use, which sort of gave it away for me a little bit.
Right, you are. Good. Well, it's a correct answer. So it's 1 point to you. Choose another one.
Go for it, Nick.
8.
Number 8. Okay, here we go. Why do Americans count the number of chirps a cricket makes in 15 seconds and then add 40?
Is this something like the way you calculate heart rate for humans? Is that you count 15-second pulse and you multiply it by 4? That counts as a minute. Are cricket heart rates faster? And is a cricket heartbeat the same as the amount of time? Hang on, no. A chirp of a cricket is knees bashing together, isn't it?
Also, we're adding, we're not multiplying. So I don't know if it's anything to do with the minute there.
Is this a frequency?
Is it something to do with weather?
What would it be to do with the weather, though? And why is it Americans? What do the Americans do? In terms of weather, the Americans use Fahrenheit and we use Celsius. So that would make sense maybe in terms of temperature. Do they change in terms of why?
That's quite interesting. I wonder if that's correct.
But it's the only thing that Americans do different in terms of weather, and crickets are outside.
Time up. All right, Dan. Yeah, it's up to you to choose an answer. What are you going to go for?
Going to choose to tell the temperature, and hope that it's in Fahrenheit or something.
Correct.
Well done.
Oh, wow.
Yep, that's exactly right. The hotter it gets, the faster the chirp is. And as you say, it'll give you a figure somewhere, somewhere between, say, 40 and 100. Well, I suppose if it was 40, they'd be dead. But yeah, it's in normal sort of ambient to hot temperatures, it does give you an approximate temperature. Very good.
Good stuff.
You worked that out very well. Gosh, I'm going to have to pull out some stops here, even though I can't change the questions now. Choose a number.
Go for it, Lewis.
Let's go with number 2.
Number 2. Okay, here we go. Since it began in 1829, there has only been one dead heat in the history of the world-famous Oxford and Cambridge boat race, namely in 1877. But both Oxford and Cambridge won the main men's race in 1849. How?
Is it not necessarily the boat race? I was wondering if the wording of a question is giving that away. I don't know. I'm probably wrong.
Both Oxford and Cambridge won in 1849. The main men's race. If it's not the boat race, then what is the main men's race?
No, that's a fair point. Well, I'm trying to think actually.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is perhaps like someone on the Oxford team was named Cambridge, or vice versa.
Yes.
That sounds plausible.
Someone that was called Oxford and someone that was called Cambridge was on the winning side. Okay, that's a good answer. Anything else?
So
it can't be like the juniors or anything like that because it's the main race.
And we know it wasn't a dead heat because that was in 1877.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the name is probably it's a plausible answer. I think it's one I'm going with. I think.
Okay.
All right, Dan, what are you going to go for?
We're going to go with those were names on the winning team.
And how likely do you think that would be that someone's called Mr. Oxford, Mr. Cambridge?
I don't know.
Correct answer is it was run twice that year.
Wow.
Fair enough.
So there was one held in March and there was one held in December. In fact, the running of the Oxford and Cambridge boat race was quite erratic. Sometimes they wouldn't have it one year. Then they would have it for 5 years, and then they would have a break. And it was only for decades later that it became a thing that they only did regularly once a year, and only didn't do it for obvious reasons during the war years.
Wow!
But that was the only year that it was run twice.
I dread to think about doing it in December. That's been awful.
I think it would be awful any time of the year.
You get dunked in the water of the winning team.
Oh gosh, yes, the cocks would be very cold. And moving swiftly on, choose a number, please.
Let's go with number 10.
Number 10. Okay. The extent of the UK's territorial waters until 1968 and the land boundaries of the Gambia, shown below, were originally decided by what practical distance?
Crikey. Well, it have to be... It's something measurable.
It's got to be like, I don't know, the distance you can go within an hour from the coastline or something silly like that, because it does obviously seem to follow the river.
Yes, that's a good point.
Maybe, is it quite a flat land, so would it be where you can see the river? Just that is the territory?
Well, actually, the red lines there, are they... I was about to say...
roads to me, given the dots of the cities.
Yes, that's absolutely right, yeah. Wow.
But there are square boundaries in it as well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what practical distance it wouldn't... Oh, gosh.
As it can, well, not cannon fire, but it's 1968. It would be also, wouldn't it?
Right. Okay. Dan, what's your answer?
As a team, we don't know this. So I'm just going to go with the River Gambia can be seen.
Should have listened to Nick.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think that'd be. I think it would be too late for that sort of thing. But wow.
Well, no. Originally, it was set as the maximum range of a cannonball, which is 3 miles.
Oh.
And then in 1968, it became extended to 12 miles, just because people started overfishing and stuff like that, and that's led on to the Cold War with Iceland and so on. So and obviously you got the thing about the river. It mainly follows the river, and for the most part, there is evidence. Some people say it's not true, but there is evidence to suggest that what happened was the British sailed down the river and fired cannonballs as far as they possibly could, and then they joined that up, and that was the sort of the first boundary. And then later on, they did it more practically with proper surveying equipment and stuff like that. But that's the story.
Wow!
Oh, what a shame! I thought you were going to get there on that one.
Well, I don't think I was really very confident. I think I got it last minute, really. So.
Yeah, never mind. 2-2 keeps it exciting. Ooh. Choose number.
Me? 12.
Yep.
12. Okay. Number 12 is the speed round.
Oh, dear.
So you're going to get 3 questions, and I'm going to be a bit tougher on you this time, because I'm going to stick to the Russian rules, which say that you have to get all 3 correct.
Right.
Within 60 seconds. Okay. And they're all 3 related questions. So here you go. What related items are known as un trombone in French, Papiervampir in Afrikaans, and Kugelschreiber in German?
I got a trombone into paperclip. So
okay, a
paper
vampire
stapler?
Probably because it bites through paper.
Yeah.
Now Schreiber means right, but what's a Kugelschreiber?
Google was ball, isn't it? Google was ball.
Okay, so
a ballpoint pen, I guess, if it's ball writing.
Ball writing, a biro. That'd be my. I'll be working out like that.
So what was number 1?
Paperclip.
No, it does. That sort of looks like a trombone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think paper vampire. I think working as a staple. I think that's pretty logical.
2 fangs in the paper.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Kugelschreiber. I think if I'm sure Kugel was ball. I'm sure it comes up every week on Schlagged and Starred. I always say it.
It does feel right. Yeah.
So ball writer. That's probably biro.
Ballpoint pen.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, what's your answers?
We're going to go with paperclip for number 1, a stapler for number 2, and a ballpoint pen for number 3.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Hey.
Have you heard of the trombone one before, Nick?
Yes. In the back of my mind somewhere, I was aware it was a paperclip, yeah.
Very good.
I love the idea of a paper vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice word, isn't it? Yeah.
All right. It was mainly Dutch as well. So do they call them in Dutch as well, in Holland as well? Or?
Not that I could find, no.
Oh, fair enough.
Right, that's 1 to you. 3-2. Another number, please.
Is it my turn to pick?
Yes.
I can't not go next to anything anymore, so let's go with lucky number 7.
Number 7. Okay. This is based on an idea sent in by Chris Dixon, for which thanks. Since 1936, I have always begun in the same place beside a mirror and die somewhere else several months later. Each time, around 10,000 identical objects are created to carry me. I have travelled by boat, plane, train, dog sled, and even on spacecraft. A few years ago, 204 copies of me were seen. What am I?
Answer.
Ooh.
Okay, you're going to answer, so what's your answer?
My answer is, I'm going to be very careful and say the Olympic flame.
Correct.
Wow! I had no idea.
That's right. It starts in the same place in Greece, beside a mirror. They use a parabolic mirror to start the flame.
Yeah.
and then obviously it goes on a journey, and it's